Hey, good morning, everyone. What's up? Oh man, raining today. Had a hell of a time getting connected. I can see Mom already. My connection is unstable, and that's tethered off of my phone. It's the weather here. I tried. I went ahead and wired the garage up for internet, and so I have hardwire out here instead of Wi-Fi. But the internet is so terrible today that I couldn't do anything with it. It just steadily said unstable. Get closer and or hardwire it. Well, it was hardwired and it's still no good. So I tethered it off my phone again. So I'm running off of Verizon towers, and it's even kind of crappy today too. It's stable right now, but like I said, last Sunday it was 17 degrees out here and trying to snow, and this Sunday it's 38 degrees and raining. That's all it's been doing is raining. Don't mind that. So the weather's been up and down. We had some 50s this week, which was really, really strange. But, we had our cold snap, and hopefully that's the only one we do have. But what's going on is, let's see, this past week I posted, the problems that came back, that returned on my driver board on Scorpion. And finally, I inspected that one board really good and found that problem. And then I talked about that last Sunday that was coming up. And then yesterday I posted touching up the back glass again and clear coating it, which I didn't expect much out of it. And needless to say, it's doing terrible. I think it was Gary Harding had a post on YouTube about what everybody felt the state of pinball was in at this time. I don't know if any of you seen that post or not. He had like excellent, doing well, and in a slump, on the rise, and terrible. And I kind of feel it's on the rise again, but 53% of the people said no, it's in a slump, and only 20% said it's on the rise. So you can take that for what it is. I don't know. And in the comments, mostly everybody that commented on that post complained about the prices of new machines. That the cost of a new machine, you can buy 4 or 5 older machines and work on them, get them going, and have a lot of fun with 4 or 5 machines, instead of just buying one and then being stuck with that one pinball machine. This way, if you have the room, you can set everything up. And I said the same thing. There's no way in hell that I could afford to spend 10 to 15 grand on a pinball machine to put it in the arcade. What do you charge for a game? $2 a game, 3 balls. I've touched on this before, and if you're the game, you have 3 drains real quick. I mean, how do you want to stick another $2 in it and go through the same thing again? So I don't know. To me, the new pinball machines, that market is for the rich people with lots of money and have nothing else to do with it, and they can go buy a pinball machine, put it in their basement or their game room or their man cave, and sit there and and it can sit in there for 5 years and get about 6 or 8 hours playtime on it, and then they trade it in or whatever they do with them. They sit around and you end up with, they get traded in and they have 10, 15, maybe 50 games on it. And all the rubbers are all rotted off of it, No, it's just not cost effective to me for an operator or an arcade to spend that kind of money on a pinball machine. Right now, I have some 50-cent games over there, and they don't get played much at all. Now it could be the game, but they'll pump quarters into Gorgar, Star Trek, Knight Rider, and my EM. So they'll pump quarters into those machines, but the 50-cent ones, nah. I'd rather play the quarter, put a quarter in, one game, 5 balls, and play until whenever. And they'll just keep pumping quarters into those. But when it comes to the 50-cent games, I even have them set up at 5 balls, so at least you get 5 balls for, one game for 50 cents. And they don't like putting in 2 quarters. You're thinking to themselves, well, if I put 2 quarters in this machine, that's only 1 game. I can go right next door to the one next to it and put 2 quarters in it and get 2 games for my 50 cents. So it's either you raise them all to 50 cents or you keep them all to quarter. Sharky Shootout, I have to keep that at 50 cents. That machine has to be at 50 cents a game, 5 balls. Now, Pool Shark right next to it, the Valley Pool Shark, I had it at 50 cents and it wasn't being played, so I dropped it to a quarter, and now it's making money again. So figure that out. So if you have one sitting in there for $2, I don't care if it's Godzilla, Jaws, Elton John, whatever you have in there, and it's $2 a game, it's gonna sit there all weekend, and you'd be damn lucky if you got $2 out of it for the whole weekend. So I loved the post. The post was great, to find out what people were thinking about the pinball economics or whatever. So let's see, and I started another project. I started Top 10. And every time you see me, or every video that comes up about Top 10, or every Sunday coffee break, I'm going to tell everybody that I'm still looking for the score motor for Top 10. Everything else I can get, I got to find a score motor. So every video that comes out about Top 10, in the beginning, I'm going to tell everybody, yes, I'm still looking for the score motor until I procure one, and then I'll stop saying it. This machine is a total basket case. It's it's rougher than rough, but I'm up for the challenge. I love doing these. The first video should come out on Wednesday. It's a shorter one. It's going to be going over everything and telling you I'm looking for a score motor. And I'll show you everything about it, what we have to do and what's going to be done to it. And then Saturday's video will be turned on the play field, because we're going to start on the play field and get it done. So once it's done, I can wrap it in plastic and put it away until, the rest of it gets done. And I'm just going to keep working through it. This is going to be a long series because of the extensive work that needs to be done to this. I mean, we're talking about repainting the whole play field just about. There's only a little bit that's going to be saved on the play field when I'm done. The cabinet needs painted. The head unit needs painted. Needs a new back glass. Back glass will come this summer. So, as far as I can get it, I'll get it all done except for the back glass. We'll put the crap one in it until the summer just to keep it closed up. And then I'll order one this summer and get it done. And hopefully I can get it done and over to the arcade so everybody can enjoy it. It's a neat game. It's a 1975 Chicago coin top 10. 75 was about 2 years before Gary and Sam Stern bought Chicago Coin and turned it into the Stern Corporation or Stern Inc., whatever. And that was the later Stern, and then Stern closed the doors again and then reopened. I think it was one of their sons or somebody reopened and brought Stern back. And that's a lot of what's going on now with the new machines, is that a lot of it is Stern. They're about the only big one, I guess, left, of the original ones. But what's nice about this is the top 10 and Cinema. Cinema is a 1976 Chicago coin. Stern bought it 77. They kept a lot of the parts from Chicago coins when they moved into solid states. There's a lot of parts that are the same, just kept everything. Wait a minute, let me do this. They kept everything the same. In fact, there was still some of the machines out there on the floor that they were doing, that they went ahead and produced some of the EMs, and then I think solid states. I don't know. I don't think Chicago Coin was working on any solid states. I think Stern pushed out what was left of the EMs that were out on the production floor or in the works, pushed them out, and then while they were doing that, they were working on the solid states, which came out in they came out solid states, I think, in 79, if I'm not mistaken. So I have a bunch of parts. I bought a tote full of Stern parts from 79 Trident. And I looked that up, and that's a neat machine. I wouldn't mind having Trident. That's an early Stern with an MPU 100 in it. And I'd gladly buy one of those. It's a pretty neat machine. It's pretty basic, like I said, I think that may have been one of their first ones that came out. So a lot of those parts that I got in that tote for Trident will fit on our 75 top 10 on Chicago Coin, because they kept a lot of those parts and just worked on the solid state end of it, got solid state up and running, and then they started working on their own parts. So I think the flipper mechanisms, the bumpers, there's a lot of stuff that's all the same. In fact, the apron, I didn't get an apron with this with top 10, but there was an apron in the tote for Trident, and sure enough, it fits. It's the same apron. It's white and it says Stern on it. I stole the one off the top 10 to put on Cinema, because I got Cinema in without an apron, but I didn't paint it. Cinema is white, and top 10 is kind of a puke yellow, kind of a baby shit yellow. So I put that on there. I didn't paint it, so I can pull it off and bring it back over and put it on top 10. I could take this Stern, paint it white, and put it in Cinema. So I'll have the original apron back in top 10. But now I'm working on the third video for top 10. I'm getting started on the play field. It's going to be a total repaint. I'm doing stencils And I'm going to stencil the whole play field, except for a couple of colors. It may come down to where I end up doing those two. There's some hot pink on this, and I do not have any hot pink paint. Got all the other colors that match up with that play field, except for that stinking hot pink. And the next time I'm in town, I'll go in the hardware store, take a look, and I may buy a can of the hot pink. There's only a couple of spots that need the hot pink on there, but I think it would look a lot better if the whole thing was just painted. But it's fun. You know, a lot of you have watched me do stencils for the cabinets and stuff like that, and this is the first time I'm going to be doing a stencil on a play field, because there's just absolutely not much left on the play field. So, you know, you can watch it and kind of bear with me on that one, and we'll get, because like I said, this is the first time I've done a whole play field, so it'll be fun. The only problem I'm having is the lettering. I hate painting lettering. God, I could never get it, you know, to look really good, and there's no way to do any stencils because it's, you know, real small, and you can't cut out little stencils so you can paint everything in. You know, I know a good way to do it would be to print it out on clear acetate or clear sticker decal material, and then you could put your decals right in there, and then when you clear coat it, you know, everything will disappear and it'll be fine. But that might be sometime down the road I'll do one like that. I don't have the printer to print on clear plastic or make stickers or anything like that, so all I have is just your regular run-of-the-mill printer, and I don't think they'll print on clear. I think the ink will get stupid. But then I watched a video. I can't remember who the hell put that one out. It just kind of came up in my stream, and I looked. They're actually putting a bare play field in a printer. You know, one of those big flatbed printers where you can set the play field in there and get it all lined up where you need it, and it'll actually print the artwork on the play field. But that, you know, the cost of ink, you know, if you bought cartridges for your printer, you know what I'm talking about. I know those take the bulk ink, but you still have to match up the ink. You know, it's not like you're just going to print the black, magenta, and yellow and cyan. I think, you know, it mixes it to make the color. So you're going to go through a lot of stinking ink to print a play field out. You know, that's great for yourself, but you know, for what you'd have to charge to print the artwork on a play field, you could buy a hard top, or you know, even a complete play field for probably cheaper than what it would cost to print one. But it was interesting. It works. He said he wouldn't be doing that commercially or be doing it for anyone. This is just how he's going to do it. I think he was doing his Kiss, because he had one that was really, really horrible. And like I said, yeah, for that machine and for yourself, if you don't mind putting in that money, that's fine. Because, you know, if it's for yourself, all you're putting out is the cost of the ink. Now, if you're doing it for someone, now you're looking at labor and the cost of ink, and then shipping, back and forth unless, they're close by and can bring you the play field. Then you can print it out, print it for them. But you're still looking at all that labor, because it's not just sticking the play field in there and it, sucks it in and spits it out the other side all printed out. You have to actually put it down on the print bed and get it all lined up. So when the printer starts printing, it's printing where it's supposed to. So and the black ring around the hole is not off to the side. And once you get started, it's done. You don't say, oops, let me clean that, let me wipe that off, and we'll start all over again, and I'll get it lined up a little better. So you better have your shit wired when you have that lined up and be ready to start that printer, or it's just not going to come out. Did some cleanup here in the garage. Did some more straightening around and kind of got rid of some crap out of here, moved stuff into the corner over there, and made some more room so I could get Top 10 out. So everything's kind of sitting over there. I have the Kodak machines ready to go over to the arcade. I brought the CD jukebox out to the front so I can get started on it. So that's going to be kind of in the works here too, as I'm working through Top 10. When I start getting kind of frustrated or I'm kind of looking like I'm going to be needing parts, or just getting tired of working on it or whatever, I can open up my AMI Venus CD jukebox and get started on it, because it's another one. It's going to be a long project because it's got broken parts on the cosmetically. One of the hinges is all screwed up, so it's going to take me a while to do that one too. In fact, I don't even think there's a deck in it. Is there a deck? Yeah, I think there's a deck in it, but the laser is missing. But I did get a laser that they said was bad, just wouldn't play, which is great, because I know how to adjust those lasers and get lasers working again. So hopefully, it's in a box up in my cupboard. I got that in. I found it and bought it and put it in the cupboard. So when I do it, that I have the laser to work with, and even if it spins up, we can make sure everything's working, and then I can. The lasers are out there. They're kind of pricey. I think they're like $80 or $80 or $90 for that AMI Venus. But that for a good working jukebox, CD jukebox, that's not bad, because the CD jukeboxes hold 1 million songs. Every CD has about 15 tracks on it, and I think they hold damn near 100 CDs or something like that. I'm looking over there at it, trying to figure it out. But Scorpion's done. Finally, it's ready to go over. No, not yet. I have a few things to do. I got to put coin mechs in it. I got one coin mech in it now, and I had those Williams take a funky little bracket to hold the coin mech in, and you have to have the right posts for the coin mech. And I got all those in, I don't know, months and months ago. And so I just need to put some coin mechs in it, and it's ready to go. I posted that video yesterday and asked everybody if they wanted to see some gameplay on it, and I haven't heard diddly squat on if anybody wanted me to do any gameplay on Scorpion. If not, that's fine with me. It's ready to go. Now it's being used as a workbench for Top 10. I got my U-Haul blanket on top of it, and now I'm using it for cutting out stencils. So it's going to serve its purpose again. Served its purpose sitting over here where I'm at with my stereo stand until I got to it. Until I got done being pissed off at it, and now it's going to serve a purpose again. It's going to be a workbench. But I do have another jukebox here. It's customers that I have get finished up before spring. It's at Rockola 460 that I got started on, and then things got going, and I kind of put it off to the side and put everything in it. And he told me he didn't have to do anything to it till spring. So fine, it's sitting there, but I do want to get it out here and get it done so when he's ready for it, I can take it over to him. I have the records sitting over there on the counter, and I don't like the 45 sitting over there because they're going to end up getting kind of screwed up, and I nowhere else to put them. I guess I could stick them in a box. Oh, yep, bad connection. What's it say? Oh, it says, yeah, connection is unstable. Oh, now it's connection. So, like I said, the connection here, the internet's really crappy. I may be breaking up, and I'm losing it because my screen keeps going black every now and then. Just started doing it. It was pretty stable there for a while, and then up again, and now I'm losing my signal off and on. So it's probably the same on your end. It's either buffering or some, yeah, unstable. I did get started on that PC Engine. Kind of started working through that. I have a video that I'm working on with it. It's actually a TurboGrafx 16, I guess is what they call it, but it's a PC Engine is the Japan name for it. I think TurboGrafx X is what they kind of labeled it here in the States. And I got some Japanese games for it, and I've been kind of screwing around with it, making videos on it too. So I don't know if I'm going to post anything on it or not. I got everything kind of, the CD drive's not working on it, and I'm kind of messing with it. I recapped the board in it, but it's a weird one. Those PC engines, it's the briefcase style, where you have your PC engine that plugs into one side and your CD-ROM plugged to the other side. And it's a center pin ground power supply, which all of our power supplies that I know of are all positive center pin. So I kind of had to make one up. I ordered one, and I got it in, and it's the wrong one. It fits if you pull the cartridge out, the PC Engine out, it'll plug into that, and you can play just the cartridge style or the CD style. But it doesn't fit the suitcase, which is dumb. Why the hell would you do something like that? Why didn't you just make the power cord the same for all three? You know, you have the docking station is what it is. It's not, But why would you make a different power supply for a docking station than what plugs into the PC Engine and the CD-ROM? That's just ignorant. I guess that way you spend more money. Either that or come out of two different places. Maybe the one factory and their R&D and all that built the docking station, and then another factory built the other. They didn't get together, whatever. So it was kind of frustrating. I got the new one in. It works on the tube, but it won't work on the docking station. So I'm still using the one I made up. All I did was cut the cord on one and swap the swap it around, make the center pin negative, and it works. It just doesn't look, like the original. It's not authentic. It's not OEM. God forbid you use something that's not OEM. Oh, kind of miserable though with all the rain. But I'll tell you, I'd rather have the rain and the 38 degrees than the 17 in the snow. It's a lot better. I signed up for TikTok. I know a lot of people don't care for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and all those, but I'm on all of them. I don't do much, but I signed up for TikTok because I could sign up for TikTok Shop and put all my merch on TikTok Shop. So this morning I uploaded everything into TikTok Shop. So you may, if you're on TikTok, you may see my stuff there. If you go to Etsy, you may see my stuff there. On eBay, Printify, it's just links in the description for Printify. That's my store. It's all drop ship, so it doesn't cost me nothing to house and have these T-shirts made up. They're print. When an order comes in, they're printed and sent out. That's how I got the coffee cup. That's why, and I changed the design on it because there you are. You can see that the retro gaming with Hopper is just so bleached out with all the black that I didn't like it, so I went in and dumped it and redesigned it. So that's a Sunday coffee break. Coffee mug, there's other coffee mugs on there too. You might be interested in. But hey, it helps the channel. That's why that's why I signed up for TikTok Shop, and I figured I'd put my stuff on TikTok as well to try and get more revenue coming in so we can do more here in the garage. It sucks not having the money to do anything. I have to use what I have. Yeah, I can spend a little bit, but very little. That's why I said I'll probably end up buying that hot pink paint for top 10 and do it. That's the only one I've ever seen that has hot pink on it. And there's no hot pink on the cabinet and that, but there is some in the back glass, so it does kind of tie in. It's it's that old style EM that has the basic colors. On the cabinet you have your white, you have your red, or orange really, and you have your blue. Just basic colors like the rest of the ones I have done. Dragon, Gottlieb Dragon, Cinema. Most of all those ones I've done. The other one that was kind of had some funky color was, what the hell is it? My Bally. Had that puke butterscotch on it. God, I can't even think of the name of it. Just drew a blank on that one. Had that puke butterscotch on it. And I had to use regular oil-based paint on it and do brush because I couldn't get it in a can, and I wasn't about to order that puke paint from one of the wasn't going to have it made up in car paint, that's for sure. That's what I was trying to think. Because then, you're going to spend $80-90 probably a quart for that puke. Where I got that in a can for, I think I had Lowe's mix it. I think it was only only like about $15 a quart, if that. I don't know. But most of the colors on the old EMs are basic colors. The fading is what makes them non-basic. But this one I thought was a, top 10. I thought was just kind of a nice pink. Until I took the rails off of it, the side rails, and then there it is, plain as day, hot pink. Holy man! Why would you use hot pink? Must have been on a bet, or just had this hot pink lying around. Hey, let's put that on there. Let's get rid of that. We don't use it on anything else. Who ordered that crap? But it's going to be fun. Nice, good project. That'll keep me busy probably. The two of them. They'll keep me busy. I'll throw some other stuff in there too. Like this PC engine. If I get that squared away, I'll put some videos up on it. And because I hate people lose interest really easy when you start a series. If you're going to be running a series with 10 to 15 parts to it, once you start getting into like 7 and 8, people start losing interest, and they'll pick and choose as to what they want to watch. What's Hopper doing today? Video? No, I don't want to watch that. I know what that is. And they don't watch it. So yeah, you try and do them short, but when the amount of work that you have to do on them, you can't just do it in 3-4 videos. I mean, I guess you can, but people won't know what the hell you're doing. Hey, I fixed this. Look, fixed. Yeah, how'd you fix it? Well, I fixed it. You want me to make a video on how I fixed it? How long is it going to take? About an hour video. No, I don't want to watch it. Nope. Oh, man. You ever done laundry at a laundromat? My washer puked. And we have to go over to the laundromat. All right, it's just like anything. It's $3.25 a load to do laundry. And that's it's an extra capacity, but it's not the double. The double capacities are like $5.75, I think, for a double capacity. The regular washing machine, which there's only 2 left in there, are $3 a load. And he's talking about raising the price on them because he's not making enough money on them. Hot water, all the water, electric. Dryers are still only 50 cents. I think it's 3 minutes. Or no, not 3 minutes. That used to be the phone. I think it said 10 minutes for 50 cents. Well, you throw a load of jeans in there, it's going to take a half an hour or more. So you're looking at another $1.50. Thank God my dryer worked. So we came in and we go over, wash them, bring everything back, and throw them in the dryer. Don't dry any of the shirts though. The only thing we dry are, your unmentionables and your jeans. Everything else gets hung up. Because if you put shirts in dryers, they start out as an extra large or a 2X, and they come out a medium. And then you're fighting. I'm trying to pull everything down. Like that. So now we go over, just wash them, bring them back. But it's still, it still cost us $15.75 to do laundry. And it doesn't cost that much in water and electric to do it here. Granted, you can get them all done in a half an hour. It's kind of nice. You go over there, load up 5 washing machines, and start them. And it gives you timer half an hour, and you sit down, you play on your phone for a little bit. The next thing you know, they're beeping, and you're done. You load them in your basket, put them back in the car, come over, and then the old lady can just sit in there and throw them in the dryer and dry stuff and hang everything else up. So it works all right. Still pain though. Rather do it here. Another project that I have to do in the spring when we get back to work. Can't wait till May. First weekend of May, we open back up down at the outdoor market, and then I'll probably open the arcade in April. If it's nice in April, people start coming up and kind of checking things out. But and I'll get it opened up. If it's slow, then I'm gonna just make it on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, because that's when people would be up. And if nothing's going on, then I'll cut the hours back or whatever. I'm not going to sit over there until 10 o'clock like I do in the summer. I usually go till 10 o'clock at night, because that's when everybody's kind of, about done and want to go home. But I'm not going to stay there till 10 o'clock in April. The lake really gets, really gets started Memorial Day weekend. And that's one of the busiest weekends around here, which is good. But it makes for a short season for any of your businesses that are seasonal. Because a lot of people, they don't open their cottage until Memorial Day weekend, and then faithfully they close them on Labor Day weekend. And so you're lucky if you get four good months in. Now down at the outdoor market, we go first weekend of May and all the way through the end of October, which there's only been a couple of years that I've made it all the way through October. Usually it's getting too cold and people aren't coming out. I mean, you can go over and make a couple $100, but is it worth it? It costs, you have to eat, gas and all that, because it's an hour and 10 minutes down to the outdoor market. And we drive down and drive back every Saturday and Sunday. We used to stay down there, but getting too old for that crap, sleeping in the car. So we come home, and I'd rather sleep in my comfy bed than sleeping in the seat of a car. We figured it out one time. You make, even if you do $300 for the weekend, you're spending $150 anyway. So you're $150. Is it worth going down there and spending the time freezing your new off and making $150? So we just decided when it starts getting too cold, then the hell with it. We close everything up and come home and stay home. But you can go all the way through October down there. We get 6 months in. Usually about 5.5. Usually middle of October, it's getting too cold and it's time to go home and close up. February's coming right around the corner. That's this week. Daytona 500. Super Bowl. And then March will be here, and that spring. End of March is spring, so woohoo! But this winter so far has been really nice. But February it could really get nasty around here in February. So I stop over at the arcade every time I'm out. Just go in and check, make sure everything's okay. I have a little heater in my hot water tank room, keeping my expansion tank and all my pipes warm. I have a little heater in the bathroom so my toilet don't freeze and my sink don't freeze. Because I really hate draining lines. You can, like everybody else around here, when they close up their cabins, they have a guy comes around and he unhooks everything, blows everything out. So in the spring, then you have to pay him. He comes back and and hooks everything back up, turns your water on. So you're paying him to blow your lines out, and you're paying him to get your water back on. Well, if I paid some, I could do it, but that's a pain in the ass. I'd rather spend a couple of bucks a month with a couple little heaters running and keep everything warm that way. That way I don't have to screw around with it. I know, I complain a lot. As you get older, you complain more. Let's see there's not much. Like I said, it's just nasty out. Work out in the garage here this afternoon. I don't even know if I'll go in and watch any football. I don't even know who's playing. I think Kansas City and Detroit's in Kansas City for AFC, Detroit NFC. 49ers are there, and I can't remember. Oh, and the Raisins. The Baltimore Raisins are there for the AFC. So it'll be Raisins and Kansas City and Niners and Detroit. And I want Detroit and Kansas City in the Super Bowl. That is my official prediction. I hate Baltimore because I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. And I like Detroit because they never get anywhere either. They're like Cleveland. So they made it this far, and I want to see them get into the Super Bowl. I think it's been, I don't know how long it's been since they've been there. I don't even know if they've ever. I think they've championed. That's the way Cleveland is. We made it to the playoffs this year, but I knew that wasn't going to last. It just, it's a game of inches. But so there'll be a couple good games on, and then I think the Super Bowl is the 15th or 14th, 15th. I think Valentine's Day is 14th. I don't know, but they play in February, and then it's only going to be like a week or so afterwards, and then the Daytona 500 be on. February, there's a lot of racing stuff going on. You can watch the 24 hours of Daytona if they're still playing it. A lot of the racing stuff has kind of fell by the wayside, just kind of lost. A lot of people have lost interest. I kind of lost interest in football when they started doing that crap years ago. And same with racing. I kind of lost interest in racing because of the same thing. Well, but that's the breaks. Just gives me more time to work on stuff out here. I can work on a lot more stuff instead of sitting in front of the TV watching football or racing. I'm out here working. But I think that's going to do it for this week's coffee break. And if you want to support the channel, don't forget to check out my links in the description. I post them on StreamYard as well. in case anybody's interested. And don't forget to hit that like button before you take off. That helps the channel a lot too. So that's another coffee break in the books, and I hope everyone has a great week, and I will see you next Sunday on Sunday Coffee Break. Until then, take care, and there. As soon as I find the button